fresh from the team store, was excited to draft Bronny at 55. Here's JJ.
Why are they wearing Rambus is excited? They're all excited.
Look ridiculous. Take a listen.
We're the brothers.
Bronny, this is JJ. I just wanted to say congrats, man. Your hard work's paid off. You're going to have a long NBA career, and I can't wait to coach you, man. Congrats.
We'll see you soon, Bronny. The work begins.
Okay, do you think there's pressure on Reddick to play Bronny?
Initially, no, because I think we all understand that Bronny is not a project, but a work in progress. Like, nobody expects him to come in and contribute or anything like that. So I don't think there's that pressure on him. But when I look at this tweet from March 6th, 2023 from Bronny's dad,
the
LeBron.
one that he deleted.
I think, do we have it?
We collectively forgotten
here
about
it is.
this.
Man, Bronny definitely better than some of these cats I've been watching on League Pass today. Lightweight hilarious. So, I mean, that's fine when your son's in college or high school, not in the league. But once he's in the league, that's like, so this is my thing. As long as LeBron stays out of it and leaves it to J.J. Reddick and the coaching staff to determine Bronny's minutes. We don't need to see any passive-aggressive tweets.
Oh, that I totally
We don't need
agree.
to hear any post-game comments if the Lakers go into a swoon. Look, we got guys on the bench that could be helping us right now. I mean, we don't need that. Right? Because even if you're not talking about Bronny, people are going to assume you're talking about Bronny. So that would put not only JJ in a tough spot, it would put Bronny in a tough spot. So LeBron needs to be the leader, be the great player, and let the coaching staff determine how much Bronny plays.
Go ahead.
I think it's very challenging.
Oh, see, go ahead.
I think it would be challenging to have your son. I think it would be challenging to see an opportunity for your son and not push for it, which he already has done. So isn't the next chapter saying, like, I think we could get some run? I don't know how it would play out, but it would be weird to have him push all the way up to here. I'm talking about development, all of it, AU, US, the whole nine. And then be like, this is my exit ramp.
Yeah, because I guess I don't think it'd be challenging because I think that this is not considered. I think it would only be challenging if LeBron's plan is definitively to retire after this season, and Bronny starts the year in G League, and now we are approaching the end of the year, and he hasn't been promoted. He's like, gosh darn it, I want to play one game with him. Yeah. I think that very specific scenario, I don't think anyone actually
fighting for 11.
Maybe that game should come early.
Yeah,
get it out of the way. November, get out of the way.
That specific scenario is not, I think, what we're talking about.
Yeah.
We're talking about like him be a part of the rotation and those things.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen because maybe I'm foolish here. I respect LeBron's basketball IQ, and I think he's watched his son play a lot, and he plays in the league. And that tweet notwithstanding, which I'll address in a moment, I think LeBron knows, certainly post-cardiac arrest, that Bronny is not ready right now to be an NBA contributor and is not going to be like, JJ, put him in, coach. I think it is noteworthy that LeBron, who has, if you scroll through all the tweets, they're not all winners, and he doesn't erase them. That one's deleted. That one's gone because I think whether Savannah was like, what are you doing? Bronny was like, what are you doing? Or he just had a moment of clarity. He was like, this is a bad look.
Yeah.
That one's gone. So it's not to say, listen, you put it out there, you're accountable for it, but you also, I think, get a little window into how he actually feels by the fact that he then took it down. And so
he did also walk back the
I have to play with him, all of it.
And obviously,
I also think I always kind of liked that tweet because it showed LeBron in pure father mode, where he's played against all those guys that he's watching, but it felt like my son can play in some. Like, man, you play against the guys.
Well, again, it's fine when your son's not in the league or he's climbing toward the league. But now that he's in the league,
remember we tried to do
these machinations from Rich Paul to prevent other teams from drafting Bronny, saying Rich Paul's calling teams and saying, don't take Bronny James. If you take him, he's going to Australia. So he has a plan and he has a place. Brew, your reaction.
Yeah, I checked around a little bit. From what I'm told, there were 4 teams legit outside of the Lakers that had legitimate interest in taking Bronny. The Clippers, the Timberwolves, which not that bad of a situation for him. You know, I know they drafted a young point guard too before him, but the Suns, but they wanted it because of LeBron, and the Raptors. All right, Toronto. Rich did talk to or text, call, however it was done, but let these teams know this. And again, I don't have a problem at all with this. This is what agents do. Mm-hmm. Ron Holland, who went 5th to the Pistons, didn't even work out with them. Alex Sarr, who went 2nd to Washington, a lot of people thought he would go 1st. Mm-hmm. For the longest, he was the number 1 guy in the mock drafts. Yeah. He refused to work out for Atlanta. Now, I don't think Alex Sarr called Atlanta and said, hey, his agent did, Bill Duffy. All right, so this is what agents do. All right, so to act like Rich Paul was doing something crazy, something ridiculous, no, this is what a lot of agents do. He was trying to get his client in the best situation he could, and so he flexed his muscle. And it's like I said yesterday, Nick, some of these agents, when you have a significant amount of players, and Rich has about 40, then you have power. And these teams have to deal with you because they may want some of your other guys. Mm-hmm. So I thought, Rich, that's no problem whatsoever with what he did.
You jotted something down.
I kind of like Minnesota.
So
no, it would have been interesting.
So I do too. So let me, if I may, cap what I've said here with this additional caveat. I happen to believe that LeBron, the father, has earned the benefit of the doubt throughout being a public father since he was 19 years old, in that he seems to not only be like an involved, invested dad, but really want what's best for his kids. I also think Rich Paul, the agent, has earned the benefit of the doubt that they are constantly, even though through bad media coverage or angered front office, doing what they think is best for their clients.
That's right.
If there were a better basketball situation, and it's like, no, we're not doing it because this isn't what the dad wants, that to me would be objectionable, to be clear. Mm-hmm. And so I think LeBron has earned the benefit of the doubt to say he wouldn't do that to his kid, and Rich has earned the benefit of the doubt to say he wouldn't do that to one of his clients.
I agree with that.
But so I think when people see this, that comes to mind, and I think that's a legitimate discussion to have. I just don't think there's any reason to believe that is actually what happened. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, because there is, Anthony Edwards is not 6'1", but undersized a bit for how he plays. Like, there's defense. Like, some of that does seem like that could be fun and interesting.
And they drafted a point guard, and then they still have Mike Conley. So, it's not like he would have stepped in and been in the rotation. And also the thing most people aren't considering, because we haven't really, Bronny kind of has talked around it. Maybe Bronny, I do want to play with that. If I got the chance, if I have a choice, I do want to play with my dad.
Of course.
I know I can learn from him and it'll make me a better player. So maybe there's that too. And he was like, if you guys can get me to the Lakers, let's do it.
Okay. Coming up next are the Chargers. I brought up Bronny James and he said I wouldn't be mad at the team if we took him and he was still available at 55. See,
that's being nice. That's AD being nice to his play nephew.
What do you think of that?
I didn't say it.
I know, but you clearly are thinking something.
I don't know. Davis told me he was really impressed with the way he was able to break down the defense, get into the teeth of it, and be able to set up teammates for success. I think AD was just, you're right, being nice.
Okay.
But it's the idea that like other teams ahead of him were thinking about taking him in the 40s. I don't know if that's
didn't we discuss that someone might take him as like a trade chip?
Yeah, but that seems disingenuous. So, maybe.
But go ahead.
All right, so Bronny's contributions this year look like what, bro?
I'd be shocked if he makes any significant contributions to the Lakers. What I see with Bronny is playing a lot of G League basketball. They're not going to sign they don't have to sign a G League contract. They're going to get a legitimate NBA contract, but he still can play in the G League, and he needs to. Yeah. He needs to play. All right, it can't just be working out with coaches, shooting drills, things like that. So I think he'll be in the G League a lot. I think when he plays with the Lakers, first action and maybe all of his action this year will be in blowouts. And the first time he's on the court with LeBron will be some type of Lakers blowout win where they put Bronny out there. It's a great
How
moment.
about blowout loss?
Well,
I don't
my
think-
guess is LeBron, but LeBron